where heads of state, sports, entertainment, and political celebrities meet. You're listening to Armstrong Williams.
And we're still talking about sex with the sexpert, Dr. Dorree Lynn. When you really get to know each other and the relationship changes and you get to smell each other in the bathroom and see their hair on the pillow, it becomes more than just...
You see each other in your sweats all the time.
You see each other, sweats each other, it begins to change. But what you're saying, until the relationship is challenged with the very issues, whether it's financial, whether it's you having problems on the job, whether you're a negative person or not, it impacts the sex that you had at the beginning. And sometimes that becomes more and more less of the relationship. You just totally lose the entire appetite for it.
But
wait a minute, let her respond.
Okay, sorry, yeah.
But that's precisely what happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy in the beginning. It's easy if somebody turns you on, and it's hormonally based as well as psychologically based. And you don't have to think. Relationships take work. If as many people worked at a relationship as they give at the office, if they gave that much at home, relationships would change. But people don't talk. They don't have the tools, and the bedroom is one of the first places, if not the first place, that it shows up.
Really? So when relationships start to break down, you found through your research that is the first kind of a tipping point spot that you start to see.
Oh, and it's immediate.
Really?
It's immediate.
And
either somebody gets withholding, or they stop communicating, or the guy
in the bedroom, okay.
Or the guy rolls over and the woman doesn't say, "Honey, that hurt my feelings." And the minute that kind of communication stops, people start to act out. And that's one of the major reasons.
Let me ask you the flip side of that. Let's say you have superb communication. You both love your job. You enjoy each other traveling together. You enjoy the time with the kids. You enjoy going to church. You just have a wonderful time, but the sex suffers. Does that become less of a problem in the relationship? Is there still enough for that relationship to remain strong, even if the sexual activity in the bedroom suffer, if everything is in place?
That's a great question, because there are two answers to that, Armstrong. One of the things that keeps a relationship together are things like church, family, things that you share. You don't have to be religious, but you shared activities,
right.
Certainly. But what does happen is sex changes. Nobody, or very few people, keep that slam, bam, powerful sex going right forever. So people have to learn to have a different kind of sex. And that's why I keep saying sex is more than penetration. Foreplay begins in the morning when you say, "Honey, I love you," or you touch somebody's hair. It's not just what happens in the bedroom. It's what happens before, during, and then afterwards. So the answer to your question is twofold, from my opinion.
Very good, very good, very, very exceptional, by the way. I just think you're spot on in so much that you're saying. I just think this is it's like a course for people who really want to find what's missing in their marriage. And I think it all starts with communication.
That's right.
Not only do you lose communication, you begin to lose each other. And so tell us the sign, and this is for married couples, when people begin to distance themselves from each other and they don't realize it. What are the signs?
Well, first of all, everybody says you have to communicate, and that's not true. We always communicate. It's that shrug of the shoulder and, the rolled eyes, or the guy who turns away and turns on the TV. So the first thing is to keep your communication alive. And I tell everyone what they really need is a date night, no matter how long they're together.
Not get to the date night. The signs, not to the date night, not so fast. This is important.
So we're signs first.
Are the signs that you stop doing the things you used to do together?
Absolutely.
Are the signs...
You stop talking.
You stop laughing with each other, teasing each other?
Laughter's a wonderful aphrodisiac. It's great. And you know what else kills sex and a relationship is when you talk about the children, money, and the house, and nothing else. It just drives... What's interesting about that after a while, it's like only talking about a bad economy. people need something to spice up their lives and to keep that communication together.
So in a scenario like what you're describing, obviously, finances can have a huge impact on relationships, right? And also the raising of the children. How do the best couples who, in your mind, you did not think would have ever made it, you see them go through the most difficult challenges, but yet somehow they were able to overcome it and the marriage has never been better?
There are two things. First of all, if they come from good marriages and they've seen good marriages, they have a role model. And very few people nowadays have that, especially with the rate of divorce. Secondly, if they keep connection, it's always connection and communication. And that's the secret.
Connection. You said connection. Connection meaning?
Meaning they talk about other things than just the children.
So what types
Vacationing
of things?
together?
Yeah, what types of things?
Well, you wouldn't let me talk about date night before.
No, please.
But I am a huge believer, and you talk about the economy, no matter how little money you have, it doesn't matter. You get private time with your spouse. And I suggest usually midweek, not Saturdays or Sundays, or not just going to church. Because when you go from weekend to weekend, it's a dry time in between. So you need that time alone where the two of you look at each other and remember who you are and that you're not just there to be functional and you're not in your sweats and you remember why you bothered marrying each other.
You know, we had someone call into the radio show recently where we were talking about this topic in preparation for the show. And this guy had been married for 33 years. And he said he promised his wife, they promised each other, if I ever decide to commit infidelity, to cheat on you, we'll tell each other. And I will forgive you, but you've got to come to me and tell me. I don't care how bad it is, you got to tell me. And he says he's a truck driver. And what he does, at least once or twice a month, and he doesn't have a lot of money, he will end up going to a Holiday Inn, he will go to a spa. They find different locations to make love. Because they say being in the house all the time, it just gets dull. But he tries to make it more exciting in different places they go on vacation. And sometimes they take time away from the kids so they can have their time with no kids involved, so they can just spend time together just dealing with each other. How important is that?
Well, that man is a smart man because it has nothing to do with economics. There is something lovely about hotel sex. That's what hotels exist for besides travel. You can go camping if you don't have money. You have to get out of the house and just look into each other's eyes and remember why you're there. So you're talking about a very smart man, and that does keep a marriage or a long-term relationship alive. It makes all the difference in the world. He's a smart guy.
Dr. Dorree Lynn is our guest. And I didn't really tell you the name of the book. I needed to warm her up here a little bit with this audience. The name of the book, For Sex Grown-Ups. Dr. Dorree reveals the truth, lies, and must-tries for great sex after 50 for married couples. I did a little addendum there because I like to keep it in the family. How did you become such a sexpert?
Well, I've been listening to people for a very, very long time. And I think I know more secrets. If I ever decided to reveal, I could be sued quite generously. And I'm not a kid anymore. You know, so I know a few
people
things.
Would assume that since you talk about sex so much, you probably have a great sex life. But your sex life is probably the worst it's ever could be, right? That's why you have to talk about it so much.
What an assumption. I think you should have my husband here.
I'm just asking. That's what it normally is, because you talk about it all the time, because you're just not...
Well, don't you think I have to practice?
But is it a good... You have a good...
I have a wonderful marriage and a wonderful life in bed. And the one time it was disrupted was when I was writing the book, and my husband would say something, and I would say, honey, I have to go write that down. So he finally, being a smart man, said, if I put a pad next to the bed, will you stay in bed? And I said yes.
You're romantic.
I am.
We'll be back.
For more information on The Armstrong Williams Show, please visit us at www.armstrongwilliams.com. There you'll find our syndicated column archive, and be sure to tune in daily to his live streaming radio broadcast from 4 to 5 p.m. by clicking on Listen To. And don't forget, check out Armstrong's weekly column every Monday in the Washington Times, page A4. Armstrong is now on Facebook.
Hello everyone, this is Armstrong Williams on the right side. Don't curse, speak English. Virtuous society. I dare you to listen.
Hey, turn it up. Hey, get on the right side.
Elevate your mind. I'm Armstrong Williams on the right side.
Yo, man, it's your boy K.O. And you're tuned in to the most conservative of our brothers.
The Armstrong Williams Show. Please give me a break. Grow up.